Over the past 75 years, more than 10,000 chemicals have entered our food supply, but the EU allows just 300 additives. At Thrive Market, we prioritize quality, banning over 1,000 ingredients found in conventional grocery stores. Our Healthy Swap scanner helps you find better versions of your pantry essentials without the junk, dyes, or fillers, and everything is delivered right to your doorstep. So shop at a grocery store that actually cares about your health at thrivemarket.com/get-started for 30% off your first order and a free $60 gift.
Oh, sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready.
No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. 8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeovers here, we have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to support the show and support SHR Media, go to reaver.one/shop. We make it that easy for you. Looking at it, I got tagged in something. Oh, with WikiLeaks, it's absolutely mayhem, I tell you. Well, pretty sure everybody knows what today is. Today is election day. Vote, don't vote. Vote for whoever you want. Do what you choose to do. You have a constitutional right to do either. To vote or not to vote. There is no mandate. You have a constitutional right to vote for whoever you want. Not who I tell you. Not who the Republican Party tells you. Not who the Democrat Party tells you. I may not agree with your vote, but that is your vote. Just as you may not agree with my vote, but that is my vote. And that is my right. And that's what a lot of politicians have forgotten over the years. And they expect your vote. And they don't earn your vote. That is why I am tired of politicians. Now, don't forget, tonight, I keep screwing it up. I believe Sackett Sean will be calling in and really explaining what's going on tonight. I believe 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Sackheads are going to kick in with a damn good election coverage. What was it? Dang. 2014 was my first election with Sackheads Radio. And it was a killer election night. So, it can only be better this year. Let me see. Trying to find. I know. I'm not prepared. Send me to the attention. Here it is. All right. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know at, I believe it's 3 o'clock. We will have coverage starting. We'll have a round-robin type deal with HP pundits Dan Butcher, Sackhead Sean, and a couple other people. I'm trying to find the information. I'm so going to be grounded. So last night, man, I feel bad. I do. I think there it is. But last night, so my daughter had this big pamphlet packet to do for homework. And she didn't get it done. And I was livid. And I kind of, I wasn't nasty. Like, I chastised my daughter for not doing her homework. But then as she finally calmed down and started talking and telling me what's going on, the teacher hands out this packet. And, surprise, she does not give out the book that needs to be used. And then on top of it, she doesn't even show up for several days. Oh, I am pissed. So, long story short, my wife contacts the school, and, there's extensions now given. The teacher will be acceptable and send home a book, and she's going to allow Jordan to make up this assignment. Oh, that pissed me off. So at 5 o'clock today, Eastern Standard Time, that is, news and commentary with Dan Butcher. 6 p.m., the Conservative Syndicate with John Matthews. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, SHR Media election coverage warm-up show starts. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Exceptional Conservative Show.
Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. Recently, I asked Mint Mobile's legal team if big wireless companies are allowed to raise prices due to inflation. They said yes. And then when I asked if raising prices technically violates those onerous two-year contracts, they said, "What the f*** are you talking about, you insane Hollywood ass?" So to recap, we're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
With Ken McClintock. And then at 11 p.m., Electionzilla 2016 coverage will start. We are going to be going on till late into the night, early morning, and trying to cover this mess that we're calling an election. Now, I'm not going to tell you, it's an important election, go out and vote the most. No, it isn't. Every election is an important election. Every election is important. Just as you can bet, every goddamn election, you'll hear the Democrats tell us how the Republican nominee is racist, xenophobe, a bad person, cheats on his dog, kicks his wife, hates women. You know, every election we go through this time and time and time and time again. What do we hear? Bill Mathers. That jackass. Well, you think we cried wolf the last couple of times, and now I'm serious about this, about Trump. Give me a break. I've heard this song and dance before. And here's a perfect example. You have Mavericks owner Mark Cuban, the jackass that man is. First, I want to be Donald Trump's vice president. I'll be his vice president. oh, wait a minute, he's succeeding and he's doing something I didn't do. I'm so jealous. So now Mark Cuban runs behind Hillary Clinton's pantsuit. And he goes after Trump and knocks Trump for all these actions. Uh-oh. But Mark Cuban does the exact same thing. There is no difference. He has now banned several reporters from covering the Mavericks because he's thrown for whatever tantrum reason, and he's trying to justify it through business. Well, you know what? Donald Trump has stopped a couple reporters from covering his campaign because they were doing nothing but lies. Mark Cuban, you are a jealous, petty piece of fucking shit. You talk about Donald Trump says mean things, and I've watched you go on little tirades yourself. It is an absolute joke. The left cries, Donald Trump says mean things about women, and he does this, and he does that. But then has Jay-Z up there cussing, demeaning, belittling, talking about drug dealing, murder. They have Miley Cyrus up there as she has blow-up dildos as she's riding them across the stage. But oh, that's different because that's entertainment, so they can do whatever they want, and we'll support them. Yeah, Madonna up there offering blowjobs for everybody that votes for Hillary. That's acceptable. But Donald Trump says mean things, so we can't do any of that. We can't support him because he says mean things, but we're going to support this bitch of a Hillary Clinton who's gotten people killed. It's an absolute joke. She cannot campaign out by herself. She has to have people out there with her. It's amazing how many people had to go out and campaign for her. Not with her, for her. Jesus Christ, she couldn't keep up with Trump. It's absolutely ridiculous. Oh, man. Well, we have what, 7 hours and 48 minutes and 15 seconds, 14, 13, 12, 11, before the first polls close. But no matter who wins, this is not going to end the fighting. I'm worried what it's going to take in this country to get it back moving. We have never been so split in a country. And this isn't Donald Trump. The left's blaming Donald Trump so that they don't have to answer for what they did. Obama in the last year have divided this country bad. Politically, racially, ethnicities. They have done everything they can to polarize every subject and politicize every subject. It's not good. They did it for their own means. They didn't do it for the betterment of the country. They did it so that they could win elections. That just... And I'm tired of this. Well, you're just a Republican. You don't give a shit. You're just saying it because you're a Republican. No. I am a Republican for one reason, mainly. To show the politicians that I did not like what the Democrats were doing. I don't know if I'm going to stay a Republican. I really don't. Because the party itself right now isn't that bad with Trump leading it. But the establishment that's sitting in the background is what I'm against. I don't care if it's a D or an R. I am against the establishment that is going on. The status quo that they want to keep going. The globalism that has infected this country is what I'm against. I actually am against anything mass religions, mass politics, because it corrupts. Without doubt, it corrupts. And everybody, oh, you're against religion because you don't believe in mass religion. I get that all the time. No, I have my religious beliefs. I don't believe in mass religion. And to be honest, nowhere does it say I have to go to church. I believe in my own way. I have my own logic. Sometimes that logic gets me in trouble. Sometimes it doesn't. It's like a Mounds bar. You know, sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Well, sometimes it gets me in trouble, sometimes it don't. Man, I can't wait till iPhone fixes their damn touch, the fingerprint access. Piss me off so bad. Probably doing it on purpose so I can go out, have to buy a new goddamn iPhone. So, I'm in a bitchy mood. Sorry, I'm looking through some right now. It is I don't know. It's going to be a long, long night, people. Long night. To be honest, I don't know if I will be on air tomorrow. That's how late this might be. I don't even know if I'll have a show prep for tomorrow. We'll see. It's going to be a fun night. We'll just leave it at that. It's going to be a fun night. We'll find out results. I still am on the side that Trump's going to win, and he's going to win big. I think the Republicans are going to have a huge win. I believe if it's fair, I see a huge win. Too many people are tired of this progressive liberal bullshit. There is a section of the country that is pretty quiet. Oh, God. These celebrities are pissing me off. Robert Downey Jr. is begging for your vote. If this woman was so great, she wouldn't need all of this pageantry. That's what really makes me go, what the hell? You wouldn't need all that. So a Vox writer has posted an article, and this one had me floored. Says, I was wrong. Clinton Foundation used for personal family enrichment. It was a writer, Jeff Stein. Well, Jeff, you just lost any brownie points with Clinton Foundation. Through WikiLeaks, it's been exposed that the Clinton family paid for Chelsea's wedding. Now you're talking billion or millionaires, whatever they're worth, and they had to go and use the Clinton Foundation, which was supposed to be used for charities and helping underprivileged. They went and paid for Chelsea Clinton's wedding. $3 million wedding. It's... But at least some people are willing to admit. How... I mean, this guy at least admitted he was wrong. I give him credit for that. He had the balls to stand up. Oh, being a smartass now. I love doing this for SHR. I really do. I might get in trouble from Sean, but Sean was so worried last night. Nerves were getting to him. He wanted to make sure that tonight's show was the best. And that is the group that I want to... I want them worried to make sure that there's going to be that top show, that we're going to do everything that we can do. That's what I want to see from That's a good thing, because that says that he cares that much about putting on a good program for tonight. I don't want to call it a show, because it's not a show. We're not doing this big, pageantry. Sitting here going back and forth on Twitter with somebody being a smartass and talking about polls and lap dances, just being a smartass. And I put, the only polls I want to see are the ones at the strip club. Or is that sexist now? And that's what's scary, because nowadays you can't say stuff like that because you're being sexist. Yep. It's like, give it a break. You can't even joke around anymore. Hell, do you know how bad the liberals would flip out if they heard me and my wife? I mean, I get in trouble with my wife all the time, but it's the husband-wife type joking. She'll be like, you gonna help clean? I'll look at her and go, why did I get married then? If I wanted to clean, I would have stayed single. Oh, that one will get my ass beat. Oh, my shins get bruised. She's in there punching away, jumping up, punching, hitting my shins. She'll jump up, punch again. But I'm sure if some liberals heard that, it was how I'm demeaning everybody. How I'm demeaning my wife. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's they're taking all the fun out of life. I'll tell you that. They're taking all the fun out. But it is at that time. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, ICRN Network, Red Nation Rising Radio, iTunes, YouTube, Speaker, and we will be right back after this message.
Listening to the SHR Media Network. Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cow for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the Unpleasant Blind Guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. Or I try to. Today's going to be one of those days. The Jersey Takeover's here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want a sports show and support SHR Media, go to reaver.one/shop. So, two women who want to protest Trump today. Well, they want to protest him because he's a sexist and demeaning women. So they go to the polling place that Trump's going to vote today, and they go topless. They go showing their tatas, because nothing like going half naked says you're a misogynistic pig. How the hell is that even protesting? That's just two women. Let's go get naked. Jiminy, oh my God, my head hurts. My head hurts. Come on. Oh, and newsflash for all you. Donald Trump is a rapist. He raped this young girl. After the girl who said she was going to hold a press conference, Miss Jane Doe was going to hold a press conference. Jane Doe didn't hold it because I'm getting death threats. But you're Jane Doe. Nobody knows who the hell you are, so how you getting death threats. She has now dropped the lawsuit, which is a third time the case has been, well, twice it's been dismissed and dropped once. This was nothing more than a political attack on Trump. It wasn't even a criminal case. It was a civil case that either A, they were hoping for a fast payout, or B, just to do political damage. And there was too many mouthpieces that every time, the only time I heard it is when Hillary had an issue. Then you would hear, Donald Trump's going to go to prison on December 15th, 18th. I've heard so many different dates, it's not funny. I mean, this went back a year. I kept hearing, next week, Donald Trump's going to. No, he isn't. It's a civil case, not a criminal. And it's dropped again. But it just shows the ridiculousness of how far the Democrat Party will go. And they go low. Oh, do they go low. This bullshit of, when they go low, we go high, is such goddamn bullshit, it's not even funny. Oh, I do have to get over some articles today. I'm really lagging behind. It's now being reported that thousands of military personnel did not receive their absentee ballots in time. So you're going to have You can have millions of men and women deployed overseas that won't be able to cast their ballot. And one woman posted, I believe it was on Facebook last Monday, "I am besides myself with disgust. I spoke to my son, whose ship is away on a mission, and he called me last night and told me they didn't receive their absentee ballots in time to vote. That's 350 members of our Navy that will not get to vote for our next commander and chief." This is not the first time we've had issues lately with our military not being able to vote. 2012, it seemed that satchel of mail fell overboard. Now, they don't even get their absentee ballots in time. More shenanigans from the Democrat Party. I just... A message from Germany. Sorry for the jumping on subjects, but message from Germany. Dear Americans, we elected a female to lead us, and she led a bunch of third world assholes into our nation, and now our women and children are getting raped and beaten at an alarming rate. Good luck, the people of Germany. Sorry, I find that funny. Ooh, this could be interesting. There we go. This is Hillary Clinton.
You all in. I really apologize. You're not welcome.
You're not welcome here. You're responsible for the thing that Spencer Honduras. You supported the coup in Honduras. You betrayed queer rights activists. You betrayed women's rights activists in Honduras. You betrayed. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. You betrayed queer rights activists in Honduras. You supported. Good afternoon.
And Hillary leaves. That's in California. I don't know when it was, but it was recently. It was posted yesterday. She got booed off this little stage they set up. She went out there to talk, and the crowd let her have it. There was some that was cheering in the beginning, as you heard, and then they went at her so bad. She walked off. She left. Little princess couldn't take it, just like she couldn't take little raindrops the other day. It's... And I'm going to say this. If you're going to vote today, vote like your guns depend on it. Because they really do, people. They really do. I'm getting tired. You don't want your gun. You're not coming for your guns. Stuff a sock in it. That argument isn't working. She has talked about how she will be coming for our guns. And then it was hurting her polls. Then, no, I'm not coming for your guns. We just want sensible gun control. We just want more regulations. More regulations. More regulations. That should be the new motto for the Democrat Party. Not the party of tolerance, not the party of choice, but more regulations, more government regulations, regulations. Jeez, it's... Democrat Party in the late 80s did a think tank. They paid millions of dollars for this think tank. It was still going on until recently. And the final results was you could not ban guns in the United States outright. You're going to have to make regulations and make the regulations worse every couple years. keep putting regulations in until it's next to impossible for someone to get a gun. Then they go, there's too much paperwork, too much hassle to get the gun. It's not worth it. Then when nobody's able to get them, and you can go and ban guns, because then everybody's going to go, well, I couldn't own it anyway. Who gives a shit? And what do you think they're doing? Adding more regulations. More regulations. We want to ban people from buying guns and owning them without no crime being committed, without them being charged, without due process, and without them even knowing we are going to ban them from owning a gun. We're not going to explain what the reasons are for this ban underneath the labeling of terrorists shouldn't be able to buy guns. If they're on the no-fly, no-buy. And there's more Americans on that fucking list. And when they want to do some kind of regulation that makes it easy for people to fight it in court. Oh, no, we can't have that. No. Once we make our decision, that's final. Now, understand this, people, and you really need to look at it. Right now, yes, it's the Democrats that are colluding with the media. And there's a lot of people, that's fine. It's perfectly acceptable. They have a right to talk back and forth. They have a right to work together. Just remember, people, that power can switch very easily, and the Republicans could be the one colluding with the media. Then you're going to have a problem. Then, oh my God, we can't have this now. We need to nip it in the bud. This is not a partisan issue. This is a bipartisan issue. We need to stop the media from colluding with the politicians. Because I'm already laughing because I'm seeing high amount of turnout. High amount of early voting. Hearing large lines. Now, the main question is, I thought we were told that there was going to be a low turnout this year. Guess there isn't. But we will know in a couple hours. Probably within 12 hours, we should have a good idea. Now, this story really, and I don't know who the guy's trying to vote for. The story does not talk about who he's trying to vote for. There's a man that's on his deathbed. He's going to die any day now. He has severe stage 4 cancer. Where is it? Liver cancer. He did a mail-in voting. But because of his declining health, his signature did not match. So, the election division sent him an affidavit to sign. But the problem is, his condition has worsened. And he can't sign anything now. So he can't sign the affidavit. And Florida's not letting this man's vote count. Again, I don't know if he's voting Hillary or he's voting Trump. But this is wrong. The man on his deathbed wants to make sure he gets to vote one last time. This isn't your typical excuse. This is what's wrong with our country. I don't even know where to go with that. It's... And I hope to God Florida corrects this issue. You know, for all the bitching and moaning, Florida really is a great state to live in. I love living here. Is it kind of getting ruined? Yeah, it's getting overpopulated. It's... There's many people that are running away from the Northeast because the liberals have destroyed those states up there. But now they're voting for the same people. They're voting in the same people that destroyed the Northeast. It's... I'm at a loss, I'll tell you that. But we do have to do something. This country is... I don't want to say it's going to get destroyed with one vote. I don't think it's going to be good if Hillary gets in. I think we are in deep shit. But we're at a tipping point. We are. And it's not... I'm not, a buddy of mine just put he voted, and someone put I just pooed, and yeah, right on Hillary's front yard. Sean Hannity made a great case. I think it was last night. I don't watch that often, but I just happened to pop it on and see what the coverage is. And he did like a lawyer's closing arguments, and I'm going to play that for everybody.
I'll lay out my closing arguments about what is at stake in this election. This is as big a choice election as I have seen in my lifetime. It's a choice between Donald Trump, a candidate who says he'll drain the swamp in Washington and bring about real change, or Hillary Clinton, the most corrupt career politician who's ever run for this office. And if she wins tomorrow, probably will face...
Notice one thing Trump says. He's going to drain the swamp. He doesn't say he's going to run out corrupt Democrats. He says he's going to drain the swamp. That's both parties he's talking about.
Years of intense scrutiny, congressional investigations, and maybe even impeachment. Now, Clinton is the epitome of everything we hate about politics. And while her campaign, they're celebrating FBI Director James Comey essentially so-called closing the case into a private email server. Let me remind you that the Bureau has been investigating pay-to-play allegations at the Clinton Foundation for the past year and will pursue that probe no matter what happens tomorrow. And by the way, 5 foreign intelligence agencies, they have access to those emails. Now, WikiLeaks also exposed Bill Clinton, Inc. Remember that? The elaborate scheme directly tied to the foundation that Bill Clinton used to fatten his own paycheck, $116 million. And then there's Hillary Clinton's daughter, Chelsea Clinton. Well, she appears to have been using foundation money, which is intended for charity, to pay for her wedding and her living expenses for up to a decade. And according to the Associated Press, remember when Hillary was Secretary of State? 55% of non-government people who met with her, well, they were people that either gave money to the foundation or pledged money to the Clinton Foundation. There's also the tens of millions or more dollars that the Clinton Foundation has accepted from countries that treat women horribly. They kill gays and lesbians. They persecute Christians and Jews, all treated horribly. Not to mention As WikiLeaks has exposed, the mainstream media is now completely in the tank for Hillary Clinton, and it is way worse than any of us could have imagined, especially CNN, and we'll deal with that after the election.
I want to play that part again.
They killed gays and lesbians. People who met with her, well, they were people that either gave money to the foundation or pledged money to the Clinton Foundation. There's also the tens of millions of more dollars that the Clinton Foundation has accepted from countries that treat women horribly. They kill gays and lesbians. They persecute Christians and Jews, all treated horribly. Not to mention, as WikiLeaks has exposed, the mainstream media is now completely in the tank for Hillary Clinton, and it is way worse than any of us could have imagined, especially CNN, and we'll deal with that after the election. Now, the abusively biased news media barely covered WikiLeaks and the Clinton scandals, so what makes you think they'll actually do it if she's occupying the Oval Office? Now, last night we found out from WikiLeaks that CNN solicited the DNC for tough questions to ask Donald Trump, Senator Ted Cruz, Carly Fiorina. Now, it's pretty clear they'll do anything and everything to protect Hillary Clinton. And speaking of the corrupt media, they've been saying this race is over, but that could not be further from the truth. I think this race, so all of you understand, this is a winnable race for Donald Trump tomorrow. Now, the path to 270 electoral votes is not easy, but it is possible. Now, back in 2008, if you recall, I tried to warn all of you. I wanted to warn the country about how radical President Obama was.
He gets into a little pat on himself on the back, but he's right. He is right. He warned, and he tried to talk it out, but nobody wanted to listen. Scary the direction we have gone. It really is. It's we're gonna have to play this. Prague U, Democrat Socialism. We're going to play that after the next break. The Democrat Party, I think, has sunk to a new low. They have the media in bed with them to the point that CNN asked Democrats to draft questions for Republican candidate interviews. CNN, they couldn't even do their own work. They had to ask for help. Can you give us questions? What do you want us to do, Master? Master, what should we do? It's Wolf Blitzer and Jake Tapper were to interview Ted Cruz and Donald Trump. And there's emails showing that CNN asked political Democrat National Committee Party political operatives to draft questions. It's if Hillary gets in, we will have more of this, people. More of this corruption. They used to investigate and go after politicians. Now they are in bed with politicians. If the mainstream media actually covered Hillary as equal as they covered Trump, this would be a landslide already. Hillary would have like maybe 1%. But instead, the media has become accomplices in this large-scale fraud that's being done to the American people. I'm speechless when it comes to how large and deep this fraud goes. It's amazing. It's scary. You have CNBC's John Harwood saying there's nothing wrong with asking Hillary's campaign how to interview Jeb Bush. He didn't ask Jeb Bush how to interview Hillary Clinton, did he? If he thinks there's nothing wrong with that, maybe he's not smart enough to do that job. He should be coming up with his own question and not having to rely on somebody else. I'm dumbfounded on how they're happy being the bitch of the Democrat Party, being their little slave of the Democrat Party, doing what the Democrat Party tells them to do. It's absolutely amazing. Got to take a break. We'll be right back after these messages. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, ICRN Network, Red Nation Rising Radio, YouTube, Speaker, and iTunes. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network. Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on SHRmedia.com and HighPlainsDailyNews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean, Dude, I'm not saying confidence, stupid bro. Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guy. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back. Hey, Cal, how you doing? Welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense Show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. Well, it's getting ever so closer for us to find out. And it's can't wait. So, I told you ProgU has a new one. What is democratic socialism? Is it different from regular socialism? So, I'm going to play that.
Democratic socialism. It's not the same as socialism because it's democratic, right? Or something, right? People are buying that. People buy that now, right? Apparently. As though adding the word democratic in front of a word changes what it means. Just because we toss something to a vote doesn't change what that something is, nor does it alter whether that something is inherently good or bad. Couple of examples, because I know you'll ask. Hamas was democratically elected as the government in Gaza, despite the fact that the destruction of not only Israel, but the eradication of all Jews is in their official charter. Robert Mugabe, or Bobby Mugabe if you prefer, was democratically elected by a loving majority in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe, how's that working out? Venezuela? Well, Hugo Chavez, noted personal favorite and friend of Sean Penn, to whom he constantly pointed as being unfairly characterized as a dictator when in fact he was democratically elected as a socialist. Well, how'd that work out for Venezuela? Well, it's now on the brink of collapse, despite it being one of the most resource-rich nations in the entire world. Basic things like eggs, milk, flour, and toilet paper are either too expensive for the average Venezuelan or simply out of stock. Out of stock, mind you, democratically. I know. Some of you will say, well, that's not fair because really we knew all along it technically was a dictatorship. Okay, that's fair. Let's move on to example number 2. Denmark? Okay, here's the time where you point to an entirely homogeneous population, about 1/60th the size of America's, and you point to that as the blueprint. Okay, let's go there. This is a place where the middle class can't even afford a car because of the 180% new car tax. And the Prime Minister was so fed up with Americans pointing to it as a beacon for socialist success that he felt compelled to clarify, I would like to make one thing clear. Denmark is far from a socialist planned economy. Denmark is a market economy. Sweden? I love Sweden. Okay, great bikini team, and Thanks to that country, my armoire now doubles as a bookcase. Speaking of which, the founder of IKEA, let's be honest, the only really cool export from Sweden, aside from a few good hockey players, left Sweden because of the stifling high tax rate. So, Sweden, good place, not bad people, but a successful model for a viable economy in today's global market? Incorrect. The fact is that over time, the greatest enemy of socialism is reality. The reality that human nature will invariably pull certain people toward individualism and success and others toward laziness and collectivism. The tension between the makers and the takers always leads to socialism's inevitable collapse. But I know that I can give you examples of failed socialist economies until I'm blue in the face, and you won't care. Because at least socialism is inherently more morally altruistic than the evil, greedy, capitalist warmongering seen in the West. Greed? What's more greedy than wanting to take from someone else something that you haven't earned? Unlike capitalism, free enterprise, which can only occur truly through voluntary transaction, socialism can only occur at gunpoint. That's what it comes down to. If you don't pay your taxes, once you get through the IRS and the auditing and the lawyers and the PR stunts, people make you give the government your money, an increasing amount of your money, the more successful you are, or they send in scary men with guns to take you away. Now, so long as the people having their stuff taken away at gunpoint are in the minority, and the majority feels that they'll get to benefit from more said taken stuff, you'll always be able to win that decision through a popular vote and claim the moral high ground through democracy. Putting the word democratic in front of your socialism doesn't make it any inherently more moral nor less violent. Did you get that? American wannabe socialists also. Get a job. Please, like a real job. You'll probably have to shave first. I'm Stephen Crowder for Prager University.
Well, I think that gives a nice little... Yeah, I love that, Cal. I love that. Wasn't that Project Veritas did that? Or I know they were playing that. For those that don't know, she posted up an undercover journalist in full burqa was allowed to vote as Huma Abedin. Went in, said they were Huma Abedin, and they were allowed to vote as Huma Abedin. Hillary was also, or Kel was also asking, how's the mood in the United States? And from what I've seen, it is everybody's on pins and needles. I think you're going to have a higher turnout than the media kept telling us would be. They kept, there's going to be a low turnout. Next to nobody's going to come out and vote. And I'm pretty sure we're going to have a high turnout, especially on the Republican side. I believe they were doing that just as the media has been trying to do. They wanted a low turnout. Less people going out to vote would have helped Hillary. It's amazing how the Democrats, who always claim it, everybody needs to go vote, how they were playing little mind games trying to get people not to vote. And yes, they were. They were doing a lot of psych ops trying to get people not to vote. And no, I'm not going to show you citations and all this. I got in a discussion with somebody earlier about President Obama's campaigning for Hillary Clinton and how no president before has done as much as he did. And I want, give me proof and give me citation links. So my response was, try Google. Because I noticed he did not give links or citations on his point. And Democrats are famous for that, too. I want proof. Give me citations. Give me links. Give me links. And then we give them links. Oh, no. I don't believe that. Nope. You see, that site is far left. They're now considering New York's Times a far-right paper. because they had disagreed with Hillary on something. It's absolutely, you disagree. You are not part of us. Ooh. Father of murdered Dallas cop files lawsuit against BLM for starting a race war. That will be interesting. I don't think it will go anywhere. Trying to prove that they did it. Will be pretty hard, but I'm not disagreeing with actually putting a lawsuit. These people got to understand, and so many do it. They run around making all these claims, doing whatever they want, thinking there's nothing you can do to me. Well, your actions have consequences. All right, as I talked about at the beginning of the show, I kind of disciplined my daughter. And I was talking to my wife in between one of the breaks. I said, was I too rough on her? And my wife was like, a little bit. I was like, listen, I didn't know all the facts. Yes, I understand that. But our daughter has a habit of waiting until the last minute to do these homework assignments when she has several days to do it. And my wife was like, yeah. I was like, she could have came to us this past weekend with the packet. And we could have worked on it all weekend, a little bit at a time. And through the internet, found all the information. I mean, to be honest, the book that she needed, we found online. We're able to look it up. But at the same point, the teacher was not being held to a standard. And that pissed me off. Teacher wasn't in. And it's this modern day that people think that their actions, they don't have to have any consequences for their actions. Well, my daughter learned that very quickly. And I felt bad because she started crying because she tries her hardest to make sure that she's up to standard. I really don't need to normally discipline her. I just need to give her that reminder. And when she comes into the room last night, too, and it made me laugh. She, getting ready to go to bed. She comes in, gives me a kiss goodnight. She puts her hand out and goes, go ahead, Dad, slap me in the hand. I deserve it. I just looked at her and just started laughing. I was like, no, you don't. Just go to bed. But she learned her actions or inactions there have consequences. And my 13-year-old daughter has a better understanding of that than a lot of these millennials. I think if I read this right, Hillary Clinton has won the vote in Guam, even though it doesn't mean a goddamn thing. It's still kind of funny. Trying to find some information. I find it funny, Guam. Who cares? That's the deciding vote. That's going to change. And now we'll hear, she's going to win. She's going to win. Well, we'll see. It's going to be a long, long day. And we're not living in Reseda. If you don't get that joke, oh God, you're young. Look it up. Look it up. Give me citations. Give me links. I'm not talking to you unless you give me links. Ooh, link a sausage would be good right about now. So Lady Gaga rallies for Clinton in a Nazi uniform. Yeah. That's about fitting for Hillary. It's... I'm just looking over news articles, see if there's anything majorly popping up. So I do apologize. I know I'm getting quiet here and there for a few seconds and just... Yeah, I agree, Kel. Kel saying that some radio host in Toronto said 80% of Canadians don't trust Trump. Yeah. I like knowing a country you can get 80% of any country the size of the United States or Canada to agree on anything. What I will say we agree on, and I don't even know if we can agree on it in a majority or a plurality, whatever the hell that word is that the DNC CNN type collusion as a threat to democracy. That is a major issue. When we have the news agencies, the so-called journalists, colluding with the politicians, that is a major issue. When we have those two groups working together to deceive Americans, we are in trouble. We are that's weird. It's with everything that's been going on lately. Like I said, I've had no feeling in my right hand for a while. Well, I found something that helps is putting an ace bandage around my forearm. Helps with a little compression on the arm and makes it feel better. We got those metal clips that are on the ace bandage, because that's why I got wrapped around my forearm to help. And I took the one clip off, laid it on the desk. I took the other one, and I fumbled it, and I have no freaking clue where it went. It disappeared. I seem to have this Bermuda Triangle effect going on. In this room. I'm still trying to get over to the topless protesters to prove Donald Trump's a sexist pig. So we're going to show our tatas off. Our boobas, our boobies. It doesn't make sense. So, in Lawrence Township, New Jersey, I believe it's Lawrence Township. I don't know if he moved or not. 1/3 of the district has already voted before 10 a.m. this morning. 200 out of 600 voters have already voted. I'm seeing a bunch of guys I know. That this is the first time voting. And these guys are, I mean, they're not 40s, 50s, but a couple of us are busting Sackhead Sean's balls. It's kind of fun. If you can't bust your friend's balls, what can you do nowadays? I lost my total train of thought. I don't even know where the hell I was. It's one thing I want to laugh about is so Hillary Clinton had Jay-Z and Beyonce hold a concert. They just love her and support her, so they're going to do a free concert. But they didn't decide to do it until Hillary Clinton wrote a $62 million paycheck to Jay-Z and Beyonce. It's bad when you got to pay for support. You want to see the difference between the two candidates also? Hillary Clinton finished her campaign surrounded by Lady Gaga and Bruce Springsteen. Donald Trump finished his surrounded by his family. That speaks volume of the candidate that Trump is. Haven't ignored that post, Kel. In fact, I'm looking over it right now. Yeah, it's so this guy's how to unhypnotize a Clinton supporter. And Trump's tough talk inspires violence. Well, for those that say that, you need to look at the Project Veritas video where the Clinton operatives are talking about paying people to incite violence. Before you say it's edited and all that, several people have been fired and resigned over that video. Temperament, as Trump does not have a temperament. I want everybody to ask those idiots to look at Clinton ranting, why aren't I 50 points ahead? And her last, like the weekend before, not this past weekend before. Look at the video of Hillary Clinton screaming and yelling during her rallies, losing it. Trump might insult foreign leaders into a war. Well, we have Trump and Putin who have a mutual respect for each other, which is fine by me. I want foreign leaders to get along. Bibi, president of Israel, said he could work with Trump. Mexico isn't going to start a war over trade or wall. Trump says that North Korea is China's problem, which is literally the safest thing you could say. China's leaders are adults and they understand Trump says offensive things now and then, and they understand the currency manipulation they have done. That's not going to do anything. Trump might start a war. Yeah, Trump's going to damage his own property. He owns property all over this world. Hillary Clinton is sponsored by defense companies that profit from war. Clinton has supported war in Iraq, Libya, and she has threatened Russia nonstop. Trump talks about having a strong military to avoid war. He gains nothing by war. What's going on? Listen, we're going to go to break real quick. When we come back, should have Sackhead Sean calling in. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Bonnet Radio. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying calf was stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense, where we are trying to make sense out of the senseless, but it's a daunting task that is never ending. On the phone, as I totally botched that up, on the phone we have Sackhead Sean. What's going on, brother?
Hey. Good morning, my friend, and good morning to the Reaverites. How are you today, Joey?
I'm doing good. Very pumped up for tonight. Very pumped up.
I am, too. I'm very excited to see where it's going to go, through all of our year or so that we've been building up to this. It makes for exciting, if you're a little bit of an election nerd like we are. It is an exciting time. Now it's about results. We've done our pundit thing for the last year and all this other stuff. And then tonight on the Electionzilla 2016 coverage, as we like to call it at SHR Media, we'll be strictly results. We'll have a bunch of great people chiming in. It's going to start off at 8 p.m. Pacific. Did I get that right, Joe? Yeah, 8 p.m. Pacific.
You sure it's...
Actually,
Wait.
Let me rephrase that. No, let me rephrase that. It's going to start off at 4 p.m. local time. Danny Butcher is going to be doing his show, followed by the Conservative Syndicate at 5 o'clock. Then...
Wait a minute. Hang on. Let me jump in there. Because you said 8 o'clock it starts off. That would be 5 o'clock for Dan's show, and that's what you had written down, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for Dan
Yes,
Butch.
5 o'clock Eastern Standard. Someday I'll figure out time zones. I grew up on the East Coast, and for whatever reason, my brain still continues to work that way.
Well, also gets confusing sometimes because it depends on that time thingy where you put your clock back. Some areas don't do it, some do it. Oh, God. All right, go ahead.
Joe, what it comes down to is the fact that I probably need to drink more. But so Danny Butcher from High Plains Pundit News and Commentary will kick us off, followed immediately by the Conservative Syndicate with John Matthews. I will be hosting a kind of a pre-election warm-up show, if you will. By the time we get on the air, New Hampshire polls would have closed, and the East Coast polls will be closing. So I will have Jeff Donetz from thelid.com on with me, and then Ken McClinton will, on the Exceptional Conservative Show, will really boost things off while I get dinner and we set up for our pure election result coverage following his show immediately. Ken's got some great guests. Jeff will be along again with Ken this evening, and then our election coverage. Sackhead Clinton and I will be anchoring. We'll be joined in studio by the Bloviating Zeppelin, our good friend Mark, and he'll be covering a lot of the West Coast polls and races, seeing where we're at. Of course, Jersey Joe, the Reaver of Common Sense, will not only be covering the Southeast, but he will also be our engineer and our lifeline to all of our great contributors. So, we're going to put him to work, as always.
Hey, that's a dirty four-letter word.
Carrie Donovan, our good friend Carrie, is who's starting to contribute to us more and more. She's going to be following all the social media for us tonight, and she'll be giving us regular reports on that. Of course, Ken will be calling in with his reports. He's in Washington and will be giving us reports from Washington. Jeff will be back with us a couple times to talk about the Northeast and the results that we're seeing there. And I feel like I'm forgetting somebody, but I'm probably not. So it's it's really an exciting night. We're going to have a great show. We're going to go well into the evening.
Dan Butcher.
We'll, of course, be broadcast on High Plains Pundit and SHR Media and Reaver.1 and the ExceptionalConservativeShow.com. So all your regular SHR outlets will have the coverage, and we'll be pretty excited. One of the big things that we have right now on our website, SHRmedia.com, is a voter fraud poll. If you've seen potential voter fraud, voter issues, anything like that, go to SHRmedia.com. It's the first link up right now. Go ahead and click it. Take the survey for us. We'll be releasing the results throughout the day. And, of course, Joe, you had a story out of Florida that was kind of concerning.
Yeah, I went over that earlier. It's absolutely disgusting where an older man with stage 4 cancer going to die any day now, and Florida is messing with his vote. His signature is not matching up exactly. But sorry, when you're that ill, it may not match up.
Yeah, and of course, because you're weak and your hands aren't working the same way they are. I mean, my father, and it wasn't stage 4 cancer when he died, but he had severe neuropathy, and he went from having a beautiful handwriting to very, very shaky and hard near the end. And I tell you, his signature wouldn't have matched up. So, it's something, hopefully they'll review that other ways, like, I don't know, an ID, and to be able to figure that out. I've also, our friend Susan Mills from Stand for Truth has a great site on post on her website. Well, I say great because it's in depth, but it just shows that an atrocity of issues at her polling place in Southern California, which of course is California, where they actually made her use her ID, and she was not a provisional ballot. She was a regular ballot. And in California, if you're provisional, you have to use your ID to prove it's you. But if you are not, you're not. It's supposed to be no ID. And they still made her use her ID for some weird reason. So, I mean, it just goes on and on and on. Yeah. And I'm sure there'll be other ones coming up throughout the day, and we'll be covering it at SHR Media. All of our partners and broadcast partners will be really, really taking care of business. Danny Butcher's website is going to be lit up today, High Plains Pundit. Make sure you check his out. Danny lives and breathes for this, and at his age, it's all he really has left. I expect a phone call almost immediately after my appearance here today from him. No, but Dan, we love Danny, and he's been covering this stuff for a long time. He has great insight, he has great knowledge, and great contacts, and he seems to get a lot of stories out before anyone else does. So make sure you check him out, and then join us tonight for the coverage. The chat room's open all day. For any reason whatsoever, get in there into our live chat. It's right on the main page at shrmedia.com. At Sackheads will be tweeting all day about the election. My personal Twitter at Edge of Liberty will be going all day. So, we're just going to be full throttle today, Joey, as I know Reaver.1 is going to be, and, of course, all your social media.
Exactly. Two quick things. Did you hear about the protest that was done at Donald Trump's, where he voted today? 2 women went in. I
didn't.
All right, go ahead.
I did hear a little bit. I wasn't able to catch the whole thing because I was honestly just getting out of my truck to go vote.
Well, 2 women that didn't that think Trump's a sexist, misogynist, and all the other fun words they love to use to describe him. Went in
the topless women.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, maybe they misunderstood what polling place was.
Yes. Okay. They thought they were going to make a couple extra bucks.
Maybe they thought they were going to work at the polls. That's why they went topless. That's the only thing I can come up with for that.
Prediction. Any prediction for tonight?
Simple misunderstanding, Joe.
Any predictions for tonight?
We talked about it. I don't like to release predictions too early. I do have a feeling. And my friend Katie Grimes, who is just on FlashReport.com and a whole bunch of other places, but she released that LA Times and they partnered with somebody else. I can't remember. Maybe it was IBM, but it was a polling organization. 2012, they had the most accurate poll the day of election. As of right now, they show Trump up by 3%. We were talking last night. We have our kind of suspicions. I think it's actually going to be a bigger margin than people think.
Yep.
I heard from a friend in Fort Wayne, Indiana today, 6 o'clock in the morning, 500 people in line for the polls. A friend in New Hampshire had to park down the street, still waiting in line for what was 45 minutes to vote. My voting place was very smooth this morning in Yolo County, California. I had an issue during the primaries. It was completely resolved today. The staff that worked there was a different group than what was there before, and they were dialed. I have to give Yolo County a ton of credit. It was a very clean voting experience. They were answering questions that were accurate. There was no polling signs within 100 yards. There was zero issues when I went to vote today. I was actually very, very impressed with the staff there, so that made me feel good.
Well, real quick, because I know you have to get going. Kel had asked a question earlier, and I had talked about how I think we're going to see a high voter turnout for this election, even though we've been hearing from the quote-unquote expert pundits,
professional,
that it's going to be one of the lowest turnouts. I think they were trying to disenfranchise people from going to vote because it would hurt only one candidate low voting.
Right. Well, we may have a low number, but it may be on the left.
Yeah. I think overall we're going to have a high number.
I think we're going to have a high number, but I think you're going to see a very, very high Republican conservative turnout.
Yep.
I also think you're going to have, and we've talked about this on the show before, a lot of old blue dog Democrats stay home. They just won't cast a vote for Hillary. They don't like her. They know who she is, and say what you want about them. We can argue about their social politics. But usually the blue dog style Democrats are a little bit more realistic than the progressives. And I think that has a lot to be said for those who will stay home. It really is kind of crazy. Our hope of keeping her out involves some of the never-Trumpers, and I think you're going to see a lot of them, even though they'll never admit it, show up to the polling place and pull the handle and walk away.
No, I've been hearing a lot of
them. They're
them.
playing defense.
A lot of them are coming around last minute and saying, "Nope, we got to vote for Trump."
Yep, you're going to keep her out. I mean, I'll give one last pundit conversation before I go into reporting conversation. Listen, we all know who Hillary Clinton is. There's no shock. There should be no shock. There should be absolutely no illusion about her being a changed person or a magical person or a nice person. Here's a woman who has been surrounded by so much controversy throughout her entire political life. It's not just recently; it's her entire life in politics.
70s.
She's not going to change.
Nope.
When you're removed from the Nixon investigation for unethical behavior, and then you continue that pattern throughout your adult life that you're in politics, there's a problem. And the fact that some people are still going to pull the handle for her, it scares me, Joey. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Exactly, bro. I'm seeing on Twitter there's some people starting to complain about issues with polling.
Good. Good in the sense that they're being vocal about it.
Exactly.
It's horrible. It's horrible that we may have some issues with voting, but the one thing that we've talked about, social media bringing us into the forefront and silencing the mainstream media, so to speak, is these issues will be put on the forefront. There will be major reporting on it because of everybody who takes to social media with this stuff, and it needs to happen. We need to make sure we're protected.
Exactly, bro. So I'm going to let you get going because I know you got a busy day ahead of you. Thank you for calling in. I really appreciate it, bro.
Hey, bro, it's my pleasure. Thank you, sir, for having me. I love you, and we'll talk to you tonight, pal.
See you tonight. Have a good day.
All right, pal.
That was Sackhead Sean. Like I said, he's got a very stressful day ahead of him. And we got a very long night ahead of us. We have our ideas, and I know I've voiced mine. I'm saying 55% of the electoral will go to Trump, which comes out to right around not exactly 290, 293 electoral minimum I'm saying minimum. It's going to be interesting, and it's just... James O'Keefe is just at it. He is in Philadelphia. He's recording and watching a bus that is busing people to the polls. They're going to try some tricks. I don't think we're going to see... I love this. So people are saying what James is doing. He's not interfering with these people. He's in a vehicle following. And they're saying that it is illegal for him to do that. He's not interfering with them. But they're saying that it is illegal for him to do it. And it's worse and a bigger threat to democracy than actually stopping voter fraud. And it's not voter intimidation. It's absolutely a joke. That people are so blind and willing to deal with voter fraud just so that they can get their way. I'm at a loss. People are turning their backs on the American way and don't care about the illegal voting that's going on, the fraud that is being committed, and they're perfectly fine with it. These people are blind lemmings or being paid. Either way, it's repulsive. It's going to be a long night. Do what you do. If you want to vote, vote. If you don't. Vote for whichever candidate you choose to. All of those options are your American choice. Is your American right. Is your American freedom. I'm not going to tell you do one thing or another. That is not my place. Stand up for your beliefs, but also stand up for rule of law. This is dangerous times that we're standing in. Either way, this time period is going to go down in history. We're either going to be straightening out a lot of problems of the world, or we're going to make things worse. And it depends on which side of the aisle you're on. This is not going to end the conversation no matter who wins. And I don't think this gridlock that we have going on in our politics is going to end with one win or another. We as a nation have become so politically divided. It's scary. And I honestly wonder just how close we are to it igniting. We've already seen certain groups quick to violence. That is not what I want to see out of America. We have the right to disagree with each other, but you don't have a right to put your hands on another person because they disagree. Any which way this turns out, I will continue doing what I do. I will continue reporting issues, whether it's Trump or Clinton. I will continue giving my point of view on what I see going on. I never have, never will blindly follow. I don't try to lead. I just try to be me. So if you want, get out and vote. Make sure your vote is what you want. Don't vote because someone tells you who to vote for. I'm not even telling you who to vote for. I never will, never have. Everybody knows my opinion on who I am voting for and why. We got a long, long night ahead of us, and the show's winding down. We're going to have a lot of coverage, a lot of discussion. It could be a lot of celebration or a lot of anguish. So, I want to thank everybody for being here today. I appreciate it. I've also been, for 2 days in a row, the number one show on hppundit.com. I thank everybody for that. It means a lot. There's nothing, it doesn't change anything, it doesn't do anything, but it means a lot that I'm in that spot. I know it won't last forever and it's going to change, but it means a lot that I actually hit number one again on HP Pundit. And I thank everybody for making that happen. So, with that, dang, man, my timing is off today. I still got a little bit to go. Not much longer. I just want to thank everybody. It means a lot for what you do. And it shows people want to hear the truth as I see it. Now, with that, everybody have a good day, and don't forget to tune in starting at 5 o'clock right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. I think we're going to have a good night. Till later. Peace. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.